I have this Mesa Falcon right here, and they make the corners touch.
Oh,
Fake card will have a little pop when you get to right here.
oh,
Somebody's done this to me, taken out my card and Ben tested it.
oh my God.
Was it a nice card?
Hello and welcome back to another day in the arena. It's me, it's CGB, and I'm here with my friends Sam and Tony and Mike from the Howling Salt Mine. I genuinely think they have one of the funniest podcasts on the internet, and I'm excited to share a little salty snack with you guys. So let's start with Sam. Introduce yourself. Tell us a little about the show.
Thanks, CGB. Thanks for having us on. So if people don't know what the Howling Salt Mine is, we are a weekly comedy advice podcast where we read salty stories from the Magic the Gathering community. If you've ever been on the EDH subreddit or the Magic TCG subreddit, and you've seen those stories where people are like, this dude played this card on this turn, and I got angry, and I threw my deck, and I kicked my deck across the room, and stuff like that. Well, is that a normal experience in an LGS? We take those stories and we read them on our show and tell jokes and give advice and give salt ratings. It's a good time. We've been doing it for a little while now. So we just had you on an episode, which may or may not be out by the time people are seeing this. So keep your eyes peeled for that. But yeah, it's a good time.
Excellent. The full episode will be out at some point. It depends when this airs, depends when your recording schedule is, but you're going to want to check out your podcast on Spotify, iTunes, maybe YouTube,
iHeartRadio, anywhere you get your podcasts.
Maybe YouTube. Maybe someday we will have something on YouTube other than an old thumbnail.
But one thing that I love about the show, quite honestly, is because a lot of people who watch my channel just play Arena. So we're at home. Salt to us is drawing like 20 or 30 lands in like 3 games all off the top at once. It's just flooding over and over. It's getting that bad matchmaker experience. And the way that, in my experience, that my audience processes Salt is they go to YouTube and leave really angry comments on videos about the game. But Salt in Commander is different.
Yeah. But that leads us to the question.
Oh?
What is salt?
Oh, Tony, thank you for asking. That is a really important question. Salt is frustration in the game, as we like to say. It can really be anything. We use salt as an umbrella term on our podcast. So we talk about the small grains of salt, which might be somebody being a little standoffish in a game. Maybe they're kind of being a stickler for the rules when you want to be a little bit more laid back. Or maybe you want to be a stickler for the rules and they're being too laid back. The game is still okay, but you're just getting a little bit salty. Something's off. Big salt is somebody countering your commander every single time you play it for no good reason. People carrying over grudges from game to game. People getting angry because the game isn't going their way. People throwing cards, kicking deck boxes, throwing a Blightsteel Colossus at your face.
Hey, this is like you're talking about my day-to-day job here. What are you trying to say?
You shouldn't be doing that, CGB. Unless they add a throw card function in Arena, then do it as much as you want.
Instead of the little hey, what's going on? You can just select throw card.
Blink a Blightsteel at someone.
We need a salt shaker emote. That's what we need.
Yeah.
We've got one that I use pretty common is Oko, and he just gives you a little pinch of salt.
I love that.
That's good.
That's great. But yeah, we love to talk about salt on our show, and we talk about it to learn from it and kind of laugh at it. And we find that salt and comedy goes really well together because sometimes when you're salty, the best thing you can do is laugh to kind of dissipate that salt.
Hell yeah.
It's an educational podcast.
So we claim.
So people tell us. I mean, I don't think we're teaching anyone anything.
Sounds like I have a lot to learn.
So we have a little salty story that we brought to your show today, CGB, that we'd love to share.
Oh, I can't wait. Let's dive in.
Let's get into it. A little taste of salt from the salt mine. So this one comes to us from our listener, Cameron. So thanks, Cameron. I bet you didn't think it was going to be used on this show.
Get fucked, Cameron.
Cameron has no idea who I am. This is going to be even better when he finds out.
Who's this blue guy? I thought blue is a trash color for trash players. Anyways. Can I not say that?
Yeah, that's the one thing that actually YouTube will ban us if we say blue is a trash color. So
that's the one you bleep.
How did they? Gosh, I knew this was a mistake. Carry on.
And this post is titled "Grubby Hands Means Foiled Plans."
Ooh.
Mm.
I love a little rhyme.
Yeah, a little rhyme there. And the story goes, "Hey, Foreman, sorry if this is too long, but it has a necessary prologue. For Christmas a few years ago, a good friend of mine got me some Japanese War of the Spark packs since it was a set I started playing Magic with. Together, we cracked both packs, and the first one had a Finale of Devastation. The second had an anime-style Gideon Blackblade Planeswalker. Stoked about the cards, I double-sleeved them and put them in my cool stuff binder. A few weeks later, I'm at my LGS playing, and a guy I'm about to play with is looking for trades. We'll call him Blackblade Guy, for reasons soon to become apparent. I hand him my binder and say, if there's anything you're interested in, let me know, and I'll let you know if I'm willing to trade it. I'm shuffling up my now retired Karametra deck when Blackblade Guy takes the Gideon out of my binder, out of the sleeve, and starts to ask what I want for it. I ask him to put it back in the sleeve and tell him I'm not willing to trade it. He says, it's in your trade binder. You put it up for trade. Again, I tell him no, that it's not for trade, that it's a sentimental card to me because of a friend. He protests, saying that he's the Blackblade Guy, and that and that he has every card that has ever had Blackblade on it because he loves the Blackblade so much. At this point, I'm bewildered. I ask him what he's talking about and ask for my card and my binder back. Instead, he pulls out a deck box, opens it, and shows me his Dakin Blackblade Commander deck, largely blinged out. I tell him that I do not care and that it's my card he's holding, and he needs to give it and my binder back to me.
yes.
He huffs, puts the deck on the table, puts the Gideon back in its first sleeve, then into the binder, then gives me the binder. Great, Gideon secured. So we start talking about the game, and he grumbles that he's going to be playing his Dakon Blackblade Voltron deck, and he shoots me a look. I pick Karametra, another player picks Turgid, and I do not remember the fourth player's commander. Oof. Get fucked, fourth player. Sorry.
Fourth player.
Classic. Fourth player goes, Turgid drops a swamp, I drop a forest, and Blackblade Guy drops a turn 1 Soul Ring, then a Wayfarer's Bauble. I decide to Nature's Claim the Soul Ring because it's a great use of an otherwise wasted mana. But Blackblade Guy says, oh, so we're going to really do that? We're going to make enemies this early in the game? Okay, you're first. After a few turns, he finally sticks his commander along with a Blackblade Reforged he tutored for and a Rogue's Passage. I'm out of cards thanks to Turgid, but have a really solid board state to absorb some of the edicts. Blackblade Guy says something about how he can finally get me back for the Soul Ring. He passes because Dakon has summoning sickness, and it comes to me. I ask what he means by get me back, and he says something about the power of the Blackblade. Y'all, I swear to God, I wish I was joking.
He's got catchphrases.
The power of the Blackblade, you dare.
I'm Blackblade Guy. How dare you thwart Blackblade Guy?
Oh my gosh. So I top deck an Akroma's Will, knowing there's a Tainted Strike and some double strike tricks in his deck that he gave me a generous peek at earlier. And he's trying to when he was trying to convince me to trade him the Gideon. I cast it and move to combat. Of course, I swing across the whole table to get that juicy damage in, but I make sure to deal lethal to him. The guy asks me why I'm not killing the Turgid player. Usually, a fair question. And I tell him it's because he's representing potentially lethal Voltron damage depending on his hand. He tries to deflect to Turgid again, but doesn't give any reassurances about his hand or commander damage, so I stay the course. I don't remember who won the game, but I know it wasn't me or Blackblade Guy. What do you think? Was I being too petty in my attack? Was I wrong to put the Gideon in a binder, even if it wasn't for trades? How would y'all react if someone took a card out of your binder? Love the content. Sorry for the long submission. I look forward to you guys every week. Well, thank you, Cameron. That is great.
Wow. Blackblade Guy.
Oh my goodness. Okay. There were definitely some cards mentioned there, like that MTG Arena players wouldn't know, and we flash them on screen. I think there's a few things. Dakin Blackblade. Just the original.
That's not common in Arena? What do you mean? Like...
yeah. It's like 6 mana for Esper. It's an Esper. It's a Legends card.
Yep.
Power and toughness equal the number of lands you control.
Yep.
So Esper, the well-known land ramp staple color wedge.
Yeah. And that's it. That's all he does.
Absolutely wild. I had heard of this. I've heard rumors of Blackblade Guy. But I've never heard a fleshed out character study of Blackblade Guy until now.
You're the Blackblade Guy? Wow.
Yeah, I knew that people liked this card and its price was like higher than made like logical sense. So obviously people were like after it, but wow. It gets a hold on them.
Yeah, it's this story has something for everyone. It's why I wanted to bring it. It's got the trade salt. It's got the just LGS cryptid weirdo who's just bringing a strange energy into your game. It's got the spite plays. It's just got a little bit of something for everyone out there.
Well, maybe look at it in order. Do you guys have trade binders that are exclusively trade binders? Like, there's nothing in it that is like either a sentimental card for you or something that you're not willing to trade. Like, do you have that in existence in your collection right now?
I'm so far from the point of organization that I mean,
Mike
put
doesn't
together
even have a binder,
a
so
trade binder. So right off the bat, no. I'll just get it out of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I have a binder that I put stuff in, but it has sentimental shit in there too. Like it just has my prettiest cards, and many of those I'm sentimental towards.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. It's like I've got things that are trades in binders, but generally all my binders, the binder that I would bring somewhere with me has cards in it that are like nobody's gonna fucking want them. It's like a Zurin Orb and a Thorn Elemental and like a fucking
that Thorn Elemental though.
An old ass Plains, but like they have
a Plains with a nice note from me written on it from college.
Literally. So it's like nobody's gonna take that shit out, but like I'd be like looking at it, but it's just like a whole other level to be taking someone's card out of the binder, out of the sleeve, and just like rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah. These days I don't have a trade binder. Like I got no time for that shit anymore. I'm just gonna order the damn singles. I don't want to try to work out a deal with somebody I don't really know.
Yeah,
I feel that.
So I don't do that. But back in the day,
but I'm still gonna put it in the binder so that I can waste my own time.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Back in the day when trading was a serious function of the MTG economy in northern Michigan, which was severely undersupplied in product. Like trading was like you had to trade. If you didn't trade, you didn't have a deck. I mean, this was before the internet had stores that had all the cards that you could order. So trading was essential. And yeah, I had a binder and I called it trades. But if I got some really sweet card, I'd put it in that binder. Yeah, I kind of want them to look at it and be like, ooh, oh, no, I couldn't today. And I'm going to tell you another dirty secret. This is just facts. Some of you guys know. Some of you at home, Let me know in the comments if you know. There are times where you're like, oh, I would trade it, but not to you.
Yeah. Not to Blackblade Guy.
Not to Blackblade Guy. Some people have a vibe, man. Some people have a vibe and it's like, oh, you're not putting your hands on my baby. And then when they just do it, I think that's where this story goes to the next level, when they just take the initiative to pull it out of the sleeve.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Like, out of the binder reasonable. People are like getting ready to do a trade. You put your little pile together. These are the things I'm interested in. The sleeve has no business coming off until you own that shit, until it is
Even
yours.
when you own that shit, it doesn't have any right to come up. Like, I feel like this is it's like Magic 101. Unless you're like raw dogging an OG deck that you had, like everything's got sleeves these days, right? Like you put everything in a fucking sleeve, and it just makes me sad.
It's a really, really strange move. I think if anyone paused through my trade binder and starts pulling cards out, and especially take something out of a sleeve, like I'm just not going to trade anything to you at that point. Like the deal is completely off.
Yeah,
there's no way you can come back from that. But you know, it's a weird thing to look through a trade binder and kind of force the issue that everything in there is up for trades when the person tells you that's not the case. Because I have cards in my trade binder that I am willing to trade, but sometimes I'm happy to be brewing a deck that is going to use those cards. And, you know, I don't really think about it until someone's like, hey, this Kiki Jiki, you want to trade it? And I'm like, you know what? I think I actually want to put that in the deck. But thank you for reminding me that I own a Kiki Jiki.
Yeah, because otherwise I was going to buy another one.
Like, oh shit, there's a Kiki Jiki in there? Nah, I'm keeping that. Sorry, not today.
actually, do you have any Kiki Jikis on you? I might need a second one.
But I feel like that's just the organic nature of trades. Like sometimes you want to trade a card, and other times you get reminded that you want to put it in a deck, and other times you're just not really, they don't have anything that you really want, and you're like, well, you know, it's the value's just not really there.
It's not always you know, what's the value on the website versus the value of your pile on the website transaction. There's a vibe to it. There's an intricate dance to good old-fashioned desperation. I need this deck for F&M, or I need this deck for my Black Blade. Like, this person needs to watch some like Gary Glenn Ross type stuff, okay? Because you can't just come in and be like, oh, that card has Black Blade. I'm Black Blade guy. It's like, oh, he's all. They've already won. They've got you by the balls. You'll pay anything.
Yeah. Honestly, maybe Cameron should have gone through with the trade, because you probably could have milked this guy for a lot of great cards. Like...
Okay, little side tangent, because this has happened to me. I'm curious. Do you guys know the bend test? The bend test to make sure a card is real?
I'm aware of it.
You're aware of it?
I've never done it myself.
Ben or Bend?
Bend.
Is there a D on there, or are we talking about a person?
Bend it like Beckham. Now we're talking about both. Okay. So the bend test, if you guys are looking, is where you take a card, and to see if it's real or fake, I have this Mesa Falcon right here, and they make the corners touch.
Oh.
Fake card will have a little pop when you get to right here.
Oh.
And if you're afraid of a fake, some people, like somebody's done this to me, taken out my card and Ben tested it.
Oh my God.
Was it a nice card?
I don't even remember what it was. I was just horrified.
Yeah. That's like,
that was a
MTG
real reaction
board.
for me right now. It's like, oh my God, what is he doing? What was that card? I don't even fucking know.
Not like that, man.
It's just a little Mesa Falcon, no big deal.
I mean, there's also the rip test.
Felt like a fucking big deal to me just now.
You know, there's the rip test too. You can just rip a card in half and figure out if it's real or fake. Like, if you're already willing to damage it, just really be sure of it, you know?
So I suppose it could have been worse. I've had worse, is what I'm trying to say. But yeah, just don't unsleeve a card. You need permission to unsleeve a card.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
It's just that quick reminder that this is someone else's property that you're touching. We get really used to playing with each other's cards. Like, maybe you have to touch someone's card because you've taken control of it or something, or like all kinds of reasons. You're looking through their hand, any kinds of stuff.
What the fuck does this card do? Let me see.
What is this bullshit?
I feel like that's more often when I'm reaching for it. When I'm like, what the fuck does this do? Like, what's happening? Why do I lose the game now?
Yeah. Especially like arena players may not even know. We just sit down and like you just grab the thing, right? Thing, or like read the card explains the card. We know that one. But you're not supposed to just grab people's cards. I've done that. Like, I think I was at a pre-release where I just grabbed a card and read it, and the person was like, please don't.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh God, yeah.
Ooh,
Forgot.
sorry.
Yeah, oops. Unauthorized touching, been indoors too long, pandemic is long. Sorry.
Well, you also get the tappers. That's a big thing with people who will tap a card with like a sharp fingernail, and that's like that's surface damage. That's light play at that point.
Oh yeah, or yeah, just when you get those indented sleeves, like you can tell when you're dealing with somebody like that because you like look at their deck and every sleeve has like little dents on it in the
Yeah.
middle. It's like, oh God.
They're gripping it with their talons.
Yeah, the quality of someone's sleeves really does speak to how they treat their decks.
Ooh.
Yeah, Mike, with your grubby sleeves.
It's an endorsement or a factor of an indictment.
Yeah. A major indictment.
So I love how this guy insists that he is the Blackblade guy. Like, obviously ridiculous, insane. Sort of like, don't you know me? Blackblade guy. Come on. You see this face? You think Blackblade guy.
At that point, you better be wearing the shirt and have the merch and pull out a replica of the Blackblade
Probably need
as
the
well.
helmet,
right?
If you don't have the helm on, I don't think it works.
If that's not like a content creator channel and he's not handing out business cards and free tokens, then like, he's got to chill. But I love how he says, I have, what does he say? He says, I have every card ever that has ever had a Blackblade on it. It's like, well,
not this one.
apparently not. Maybe I'm the Blackblade guy, actually.
Interesting.
Yes. That's all I would do. It's like I'd just take it back, put it back in the sleeve and be like, I guess not.
Yeah, right.
but that's like the precursor.
It is.
That's the warm up. They actually play a game.
Yeah.
That part is wild to me. The idea that I've already had, like, if I've already had a fringe interaction with somebody that I don't know, and now they're going to try and get me to commit to like an hour of playing a game of Commander with them, there is a low likelihood that I'm picking up that offer.
Yes. With the Dak and Blackblade deck. Like that's the best part is that he's like, you have this horrible interaction. He's like, I'm the Blackblade guy. This is my Blackblade deck. Look how blinged out it is. And then he's like, I'm going to play this. And it just shoots you a look. He's like, you know what's coming. The Blackblade.
Dude, he wants you to put the card on the line.
Let's play for ante.
Play for keeps.
Yeah, man, put Gideon on the line. Just before we get into the game, can we also just talk about like those War of the Spark anime Japanese walkers that you could only get in the Japanese packs are amazingly sweet. I think I actually, don't tell Blackblade guy, I think I've got one. I think I've got a Blackblade Gideon. A Gideon Blackblade Japanese anime. I think I do. That's funny.
Literally gonna come find you.
Man,
be careful.
What's the
Putting this on the
price
internet
that
is
card?
dangerous. Oh my goodness.
I feel like that card has to be money. Like, what's the price on that card?
I don't even think it is though.
I don't think that one is.
Yeah, it's not.
So there's the
It's $2.
Yeah. Foil Liliana in anime that is $3,000.
Oh
yeah. That Dreadhorde General is the one. It's like the big hitter you could get. I have one that's not foil. But still, that one's like the big one. This Gideon was an okay standard card. It didn't do a lot outside of standard.
Yeah.
And I think it's only really valuable to somebody who is collecting the whole set of the anime Planeswalkers or that wakes up every morning as Blackblade guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's only $2.
Do you think Blackblade guys out there, the one that got away, just like hunting, digging, researching?
I hope they just found $2 and ordered a single.
Part of the fun is though, like finding like them out in the wild,
Yeah.
It takes a little bit of the fun out when you're just like, oh, I could just fucking order it. Don't get me wrong, that's what I fucking do. But like, I'm not saying it doesn't lose some of the charm,
I mean, unless CGB has a sponsor with a place where you can buy singles, then you just buy them there.
From CoolStuffInc.com, promo code CGB5.
Yeah. I mean, I would much rather buy cards from Cool Stuff Inc. than try to find them in the wild or trade for them because, then I get to support my favorite YouTube channel.
The OP gets it. The OP gets it. It was called the Cool Stuff Binder. I was like, that's gonna come back. I'm a professional. That's coming back.
Hell yeah.
I will say it does change. Again, you shouldn't touch other people's stuff without permission. You shouldn't unsleeve other people's cards. It does change my perspective a little, knowing that it's just a $2 card now. But we can continue in the story.
Yeah. Well, in my mind, you're talking about like Japanese foil card. I was like, this thing's gotta be something.
Like a few $100 maybe, because I know some of them are expensive. But
granted, if somebody took my fucking Zern Orb out of its sleeve, I would be upset.
Yeah,
so.
for sure.
It doesn't matter. Price tag doesn't matter.
Yeah. Emotional. Speaking of emotional, this game.
Yeah. Let's get into it.
Well, player 3 is running Tear Grid, and somehow in no way the villain of the story.
Yeah. That's the real mystery
Which is a sign, right?
Fairest Turgid player alive.
With Dak and Blackblade, and it was what was it? Karametra?
Karametra.
Yep. And Tear Grid? Like the saltiest commander at the LGS level of all time?
Yeah.
I can't.
Even talk to the fact that like they had no cards because Turgid was doing Turgid.
Yeah,
that's
just like a pleasant side note. That's an acceptable state for the game to be in.
It's like the one game. Tear Grid's like, wow, they're like really after each other. I can do whatever I want. They're not going to remove my commander. They're not going to attack me. They're not even mad that I wheeled and stole their whole hand. It's insane. This is the best. You guys are the best.
Best
so
game
game 2
player. Yeah. So the game does kick off with what I'll say is like a pretty salty play, which is Nature's claiming the turn 1 Soul Ring. For the player that you already know that you like put this Blackblade guy in a weird position, had the weird interaction with him, and now you're
tell me that's not why they didn't do it though. Like,
yeah.
I bet they're like, you know what? You shouldn't touch my cards. I'm nature claiming your Soul Ring.
I mean, should go down the line? Like, would you nature claim the Soul Ring? Because the reasoning is terrible. I didn't want to use 1 mana.
Yeah.
I wouldn't do it for that. Like a
that
casual
reasoning
game,
is
you're just like hanging out.
Terrible reasoning. Mana efficiency. No, I mean, Soul Ring is arguably the best card in the game.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
like
the reason to do it is because it was fucking Soul Ring on turn 1 or 2. Like,
yeah.
Instead of them being on turn 4 while you're on turn 2, like like.
The only reason you wouldn't is if you think there's a better target, some other maybe artifact or enchantment that would be integral to this guy's game plan that might be entering the battlefield. That maybe.
Like a sword? Like an equipment?
Yeah, some sort of equipment that is like just core to his persona. Then maybe you hold on to the Nature's Claim. But that aside, I think it's perfectly natural to Nature's Claim the Soul Ring in this case. Like it's definitely not an out of like the reasonable bounds plays to make,
But own the salt. To CGP's point, own the fucking salt there, right?
Yeah.
Like don't be like, it's mana efficiency. It's like, because that's not how instants are played in Magic for most decks. You want to hang on to those answers for when they're really important. You did that because that dude took your card out of your binder, and that's fine. Like, we're fine with it, but own it.
I mean, if you nature claimed, like, I don't know, a treasure token because they touched your card, I would support you still. But it wasn't to be mana efficient, and you know it.
Yeah, exactly. So then they go on, and this is just hilarious. So the Blackblade player gets to this point and he's like, oh, I'm going to get you back. He's like setting up. He has Blackblade out. He has Dakon out. So he's getting double +1/+1 for every single land that's out. So, pretty beefy, threatening commander damage. And my favorite is like when someone makes a threat in an EDH game and then passes the turn, and then he has to walk it back as fast as possible. Like, oh no, I wasn't gonna kill you. Oh, you thought I was talking about you? No. I was just kind of pontificating about anyone. One could attack for lethal with commander damage, but I'm not gonna do that. Look at this Turgid player.
When I
that
said you're
doesn't
gonna
even walk it
get
back, literally,
I meant the win.
They literally are just like sitting there being like, like, look, I've been caught. Like, I'm not actually gonna say that I wasn't gonna do it, but like, you know, you could kill the Turkey player instead. Like, definitely never happened to me. I don't do that ever. It's fine.
Yeah. As I was saying that, we locked eyes, and I knew that you were thinking of the same moment that I was thinking of. We've had this happen in our pod where one game Tony was speaking this. He was just like, we were just having such a salty game. He was in a mood, you know. He was super salty.
I was in like a fun mood though, you know. I was like having a good time.
Yeah,
Sam wasn't having a good time because his shit was getting fucked with.
I wasn't having a good time.
I was honestly just feeling fun and flirty. I was like, let's go.
You were speaking a ton of smack
I was
talk,
talking
man.
so much trash, like maximum.
And then it passed to my turn, and I was like, I had a huge play to like basically blow up someone's board. And I was like, well, I should probably do it to Tony because he's been talking so much smack. And he's like, whoa. Those are just words, not actions.
That's all you can do in those moments.
Yeah, just cling to hope.
I think there is the whole bit of like, and not giving any assurances. I won't tell you I won't attack you. I won't show you anything about my hand. I'm just like, whoa, we're good. It's like really a trying to have your cake and eat it too situation.
Trust me, I'm the Blackblade guy. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, I'm Blackblade guy. Guys. Look at the Blackblade on the Blackblade. I'm Blackblade guy.
I mean, it all comes down to like, they literally say they're going to like kill you. Like they're threatening you. I can't tell you how many times I've been in a game where somebody threatened me. I was like, well, doesn't matter what is quote correct play. I'm gonna kill you. Like, that's all that's gonna happen from now until the end of the game. Like, I think it's a pretty common reaction from most Magic players.
Yeah. It's the scene in the action movie where the villain has like been in an advantage all movie, but suddenly the heroes got him on the ropes and they're pleading for their life, but they're also still getting the knife ready behind their back, you know? And you're like, I can't really feel any sympathy for you. I know what you're doing.
Getting the black knife ready behind their back.
I never meant to hurt anybody.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You wouldn't hurt me.
You and I, we're actually alike.
And we also apparently there was another thing in there where he was flashing cards from the deck before the game and showed a tainted strike. A tainted strike, and now we're making deals. I don't know, man. Like the first time I ever died in Commander was to tainted strike.
Oh, man.
And I did not
like a rite of passage.
I didn't know what that did. I was like, what the hell is this card? And, you know, my still friend to this day, a true testament to what an excellent person Ben is, looked at me and was just like, yeah, you're dead. Like, oh my God. And so, yeah, tainted strike cannot be taken lightly. Like, that's in the deck.
Yeah.
And you are coming at me? Like, you are a problem. This must be solved with blood.
Yeah, and it's like indicative of the type of deck, right? Like there's not just one of that effect. There's many of that effect. So it's like, if it's not Tainted Strike, it's gonna be something else.
Double strike, even with enough lands out, that's gonna do it with Dakin.
Yeah, I mean it's a Voltron decks are designed to snipe people out of the game. They're almost the best deck, I might say, to like really spite play on someone as hard as possible, because you're just like, fuck you in particular. I'm gonna do nothing to these people, and I'm gonna take you right out of the game because you didn't trade me that card I wanted, and which is like clearly the vibe here, you know?
Yeah.
And you can't let that player have anything. Like sometimes in EDH, you know, you let someone have something. You let them have a powerful card. You let them play it. You don't want to waste the interaction yet. You want to wait till it's critical. With these types of Voltron decks, especially if you know a Tainted Strike is in the deck, which if people don't know, +1/+0 gives Infect for 1 mana. Generally speaking, you're dropping it at a moment where you can just one-shot somebody and knock them out of the game with poison. Like that demands a certain amount of cautiousness when you're playing into that person, you know?
Yeah.
You got to strike while the iron's hot.
Especially when you're the one they have beef with.
Yeah.
So, what do we think about the salt rating here on this?
Man.
This is why 1v1 formats exist. Exactly. That's what it is. This is a duel. You and I don't agree. We don't share standard best practices of how to touch cards or make trades. We do not deal, but we must decide who is better in a showdown. At high noon, we are two gunslingers coming out and throwing hands. And I think that the salt is definitely high, but that's what turns an EDH game into a 1v1. Like half.
Yeah, it's two players with a Turgid and someone else maybe spectating.
I still love the spectating Turgid, man. What a funny non-issue to have at the table, just like hanging out on the side. I mean, I think this is a pretty salty story. I'll give this a full shaker. You know, it's kind of got a little bit of everything. It's a smorgasbord of salt. You got the card touching, pulling it right out of your binder, the insistence on the trading. You got the weird vibes, and man, those vibes are weird. We didn't even talk about it, but I think my favorite line is when he says, "I'm gonna get you back with the power of the Black Blade."
Yeah.
like, what are you like? You gotta calm down a little bit, man.
Who would say that with a straight face?
Like, this dude better have a Black Blade tattoo, is all I'm saying. Like, I hope he's really committing to the bit.
Oh yeah, right here. I'm gonna get you back.
Yeah.
The power of the Black Blade.
But also has a Black Blade body pillow at home. So this is the duality, man.
Black Blade Coon.
Oh my god.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Black Blade is my waifu, dude.
I think this is the good salt spread through an entire meal, though. It's got all the varieties. I think the appetizer was accidentally the saltiest part. The card mismanagement, grabbing something else, that's much less cool. But once you got into the full courses, then it starts to just be like appropriate. That's that salt that like makes Commander this joyful, goofy, weird experience, even when it's sometimes a little awkward in the actual moment that it's happening. It's it's all a part of kind of the storytelling of it.
Well said.
And it's the power of the Black Blade.
Black Blade. I hope that this player knows. You know, I hope they know. I hope they know the joy they are spreading by giving people stories to tell about Black Blade Guy.
It's so edgy, man.
I can't wait for us to get a story submitted from Black Blade Guy.
Oh my god. Wouldn't that be amazing if we got a follow-up? Oh
Yeah, they'll follow up from Black Blade Guy being like, I don't even fucking know.
You don't know the full story.
Yeah.
This sword was handed to me by divine intervention, passed down from generations.
Oh, fuck, dude.
Oh my god, I love it.
For
That's some
real.
good salt, man.
Oh, internet, do your thing. Comments, I want to know. Help me find the Black Blade Guy. Get him on the channel. It must happen.
Please. I need to meet this person.
Oh my gosh. Thank you guys for bringing that on. Thank you very much to all of you for being here on the show. And thank you to everybody who watched all the way till the end. That's the best thing that you can do for the channel. And if you want more Howling Salt Mine, where can they catch a bit more of what you do?
Yeah, so like I said, we are a weekly podcast. We have new episodes drop every single Thursday. Our typical episode structure has us reading 3 of these stories. We've got a salty card of the week. We sing a little song. We tell a bunch of jokes. It's a good time. Definitely check it out if you enjoyed this episode. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, pretty much anywhere you can find a podcast. We are audio only right now. We do have a YouTube with 65 faithful subscribers and no videos. So if you want to be 66, check it out. But definitely find us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts.
But only like 4 of you could check it out also, and that would be fine.
That would
wouldn't
be
a problem.
nice, actually.
That would be nice. Yeah.
Exactly 4. And then don't subscribe. Just go look at the channel. But get 4 more subscribers and then freeze.
Well, thanks for having us on CGB. This was super
dude.
fun. It's fun to bring the salt out of the mine every once in a while.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
I like
export.
seeing the light of day every once in a while.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's fun. I could listen to these all day. Sometimes I do. I really am a big fan. You guys are great at what you do.
Oh, thanks, man.
Thanks.
And to everybody at home, thanks for staying till the end. Remember to like and subscribe. Those are the best ways to help the channel. And after that, then you can also check out the sponsors of this video, CoolStuffInc.com and Ultimate Guard. Links in the description. Thank you for watching this video. As always, I will see you in the next one. You're cool.